Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Bridge Constructor. Yeah, I know, it's exactly what it says on the tin, don't even worry about it. So, there's not that much to see in the menus, you can turn off the music and check the high scores. I think the high score table is being shared with, like, something else, like maybe an Android or an iOS version or something, because these high scores are ridiculous. Like, there's no goddamn way that people have gotten scores this high in this short amount of time. I mean, you might be seeing this on like Friday. This is being recorded like a couple of hours after the game's come out. So, yeah, the fact that the leaderboards are this densely populated already makes me think that it's syncing with something else. But anyway, we'll just go hop straight on in. There's not really that much else to see out here. Oh, I'm not on the main set of levels. There we go. So I'm going to go play on one of the earlier levels. Just let me pick a decent one so that I don't spend way too much time just trying to explain the basic concept. This one will do. It's a start. So, Bridge Constructor, as I said about 30 seconds ago, is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a game about constructing bridges. This is a bridge that I used to successfully finish the level, but I'm going to get... Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, just to be safe, because God only knows I won't be able to rebuild the damn thing if I'm not entirely careful, so I'll just save it right there, and then we will go... It has to sync my save game with the cloud. This is kind of annoying, because it does this every time you finish a level, so it takes a little bit of a while to get to the next level, even when the loading times aren't that bad. So you do kind of have to wait for it to finish up like that, and now we can hit the bin button. You might think that this interface would be navigatable via touch, but no, it's not. You can zoom in and out using the touchscreen, but other than that, you can't really do anything with the touchscreen. It's a little odd, honestly. But anyway, the game itself is relatively simple. You have 4 different objects you can access, and 3 of them are in this level. The first is the wood planks, and wood planks are pretty much exactly what they appear to be. That's the bridge falling apart if the bridge isn't good enough to hold itself up under its own weight. So you use wooden planks to build bridges, and everything in this game, not just the wooden planks, are physics affected. So if I was just to try and build up a little bit of extra strength on the bridge here by building a bunch of planks just in a way that might give it a little bit of extra structural power. The interface in this game is a little bit tricky. Like, the cursor is locked to a grid, and sometimes it can be on a spot, but then not be on the spot you think it is. It's a little odd, but anyway. If we try and make this just a tiny bit stronger, it might last a little bit longer. Yeah, it lasted a little bit longer, so let's see if we can get some cars across that. So we've built a bridge made of wood. Let's see if our cars can get across it. If the 2 cars get across without falling off the bridge, we win. And the idea is you want to get as a high a score as possible by using both the least amount of budget possible, as you can see up the top there, and by taking over the heaviest vehicle you can. So, say if I were to take over trucks across this bridge now, they're probably not going to make it over because there's a bunch of stress going on this bridge right now. As you can see, the bridge has collapsed, and down they go. I have a lot more fun with this stupid side of bridge building things than you might think. So, this bridge is obviously going to need to be a little bit stronger in order to stand up to our trucks. So, let's explore a couple of the other things we've got going for us. You can press triangle to use a more precise grid if you want, by the way. That's just FYI. You can move around the camera using the right stick. So, some of the more precise things that we have here is we have concrete. And concrete costs an absolute ton of money, and you can only put it up on the yellow things. So we can choose to make a really tall one if we want. We can make just a really small one. Or, you know, stuff like that. And there is, of course, cabling. Now, cabling can't hold anything... Well, basically, have you ever seen one of those bridges where they have an absolute ton of cables that just go off the sides, and that's just how the bridges get held up? This is basically how cables work. The game uses a bunch of, like, really big words to explain it, and I admit that I'm fairly dumb. So, yeah, it took me a little bit to figure out exactly what the cables are used for. But yeah, basically you use them for things like suspension bridges like this. So, let's give this a try. The bridge seems to be holding up just fine, so let's send over the trucks. Yep, we're good. That was pretty easy, but as you can see, I used more money. So now, since I've used more money, I get less score. And all your score gets added up for your position on the high scoreboard. And you get a bonus for sending over the trucks. That's how you get your bonus points. So, when the game finishes syncing the save with the cloud, thank God I'm not actually uploading or downloading anything at the moment, because this will take bloody ages to pull off. We will go back and we will head to the most recent level I've unlocked in the central mainland. There's 5 main areas, and we actually have 2 levels we can play. This one's got steel and cabling, which might be useful. This one's just wood and cabling. We'll go for the one with steel, just so we can show off what steel is. So, we've got a big bridge this time. This is interesting. So, the main trick to remember about... Well, there are a couple of things you need to know about Bridge Constructor in order to really stand a chance. You do have to have a bridge going all the way across, obviously, so you might as well just put all the wood out for that right away. Now, there is another thing that is worth talking about when it comes to the way the game's physics work. So, if I just want to use an example, like, I'm going to use some wood, I'm going to put it up here, and then I'm going to immediately put it back down here. Now, what you're going to notice is that when the simulation starts, this is just going to fall down here, and it's just going to become completely useless to the bridge. See? It's just fallen through, like the bridge it's mounted on doesn't even exist. This is something that took me a little while to figure out, but as it turns out, the only way objects get taken into effect by the physics is if they're connected to the edge of a piece of the bridge. So, for example, I've now connected it here to the edge of the bridge here. There we go. See, it exists like that. Took me a little while to actually figure that out, but once you do manage to figure that out, it's perfectly fine. So, what do we got to work with here? Well, we've got steel. Now, steel is basically wood, but it's indestructible and it costs a ton more money. And it's also worth noting that the more individual pieces you use, so like, building it up in a stack of 3 like this is going to cost more money than building it up in one big shot. Alright, that's good. So, let's get some of that cabling out and make another suspension bridge, because that seems to be pretty much the thing you... Whoops, let's try that again. That seems to be pretty much the thing you do with the cabling in this game. You just make a giant-ass suspension bridge. There's not really much else to do with it. Perfectly fine by me, of course, because, I mean, what else would you use cabling for? But yeah, it just seems I imagine there are some really, strange ways to use it, but I'm sure we'll get to find that out eventually as we go through the game. As a bridge constructing game, it doesn't really add anything. Well, actually, to be fair, it does add something new, and I will get onto that shortly. But it doesn't really do that much out of the ordinary, and it's not that bad. Not really. Oh, dear. Alright, so the suspension bridge didn't work out so well. Okay, so we're going to have to add a little bit more extra, what's the word I'm looking for? Support to the bottom of this. The control scheme is pretty easy to get along with once you've played with it for about an hour. This is like an hour and a half into the game, more or less. Once you've played with it for long enough, you'll get your head around it and you'll do fine. So just as a physics experiment, let's see how this helps with the bridge. Well, it kept that stuff nice and even for a while, so that's probably a good start. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to have the money to make this work, just purely because of the fact that steel is fucking expensive in this game. So, different idea. Can we keep the bridge afloat via the usage of more cabling? I'll have to see if I can do that. Yeah, because this steel is not going to work out for me. Let's get a couple more cables in and see if we can use that to keep this part of the bridge up. But I'm not entirely sure if I can. Right, that's going to be a problem. Looks like I may have to get that steel a bit of a buffer of its own. So, let's see. I do have some money for some more steel, so can I just connect it like down here? Doesn't help. Wonderful. Probably should have done this bridge before I actually tried to play it in-game, but we will see if we can figure something out nevertheless. We do have wood. We can use that instead and see if we can make something that's stronger that costs less. It's really annoying, actually. Alright. Let's get some wood. The game runs alright. It's not particularly hard on the Vita in general. There are some performance things that happen when you've got lots of stuff going on your bridge. But, I mean, considering that the game doesn't really have any real-time elements, it's literally just you build the bridge and see if your thing is willing to go along with it. It'll probably do fine. I've had the game crash on me once, which was a little odd, considering that it's not that difficult of a game, but it was C2128228-1, which means there's like a 50-50 chance it's either my memory card breaking or the game crashing because of that. So, right. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, as you can see, it does kind of suck trying to add things to the construction after that, just because they won't stick on, and you have to actively go and delete the piece, then make it 2 individual pieces, then connect that up like that. Although it did hold. It did hold very well indeed, so that might actually be worth a try. Let's do that. Alright, we've replaced this entire half of the bridge. And it held pretty well. I mean, let's compare it to the other side of the bridge. Yeah, it's mainly the middle that we're going to have to worry about. So, let's just get this like that. Delete that piece. Not meant to do that. Thankfully, the L button is a very handy undo button. It's worth remembering that the L button's the undo button, especially when you accidentally screw up the grid placement. What about this? Nope. That's unfortunate. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to try and make this stronger, so... Do I have enough money for steel? I should have more than enough money for steel. I guess one complaint I could bring up is the lack of a sandbox mode. Just by default. There might be one, like, once you finished all the levels, but as far as I can tell right now, at least, there is no sandbox mode. Nope, it appears this is still too heavy. This is not particularly great. I'm not 100% sure what to do here. You do have to kind of do a lot of experimentation and trial and error to try and figure out the way the physics engine handles everything. That tends to be the way it goes with these sorts of games. I don't claim to be a fan of these, but I play a lot more of them than I really should be playing, so, you know. Alright. Maybe I need to have some more cables. That might help. Let's try some more cables. That's steel. Cables, thank you. Nope. Alright, what about more cables out here? Can I actually get this cable up here without disappearing? I can. But does that mean the bridge is just going to fall over faster? Yes, it does, probably. It appears I can't really attach that cable to anything. Right, attach this one up here. Touch this one up here. Alright, let's try it. Let's try that. Nope, still doesn't appear to be enough. Alright, maybe I have to get rid of them. And just have all my cables go out from this particular one here. Instead. This probably won't work either. If this doesn't work, I'll go do another stage just to be safe, but yeah. Yeah, that's probably not going to work either. Alright, you've seen me fuck around on this stage enough. Let's do a stage where I know I've done it, so you can see an actual bridge in action. Actually, no, better idea. I should probably let you go and see, the sloped levels, because apparently we've been at this for 16 minutes, which is depressing. I'm not entirely sure where that time went, so let's go do that. The slope levels are annoying. I know, it's something that's hard is annoying, but yeah. Slope Mania, it's basically the same concept, except, well, you have to build a sloped bridge. This is the bridge that I left behind on this level. And it's a piece of garbage? No, I remember. See how much pressure there's being put on that little thing there? As soon as weight hits it, the entire bridge just collapses, just falls over. It's gone. Those two are dead. So let's see if we can figure this one out based on the bridge I've already built. And we're probably going to need to add a couple more... Probably going to need to add a couple more things here. For a little bit of extra stability. Just making sure that, okay, that's good. And I'm thinking that I should do triangles here instead. Because a triangle might have more well, this sort of thing might have more stability. Unfortunately, I'm about to run out of budget. That's brilliant. Yeah, let's wipe them out. Nope. Delete that one. Right, that's not connecting, so... Okay, what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? Remove that one. That's not gonna last, is it? Nope. Right, let's get a little bit more weight. I'm just gonna see if the left side of the bridge can hold up with... Nope, undo that. Let's just see if the left side of the bridge can hold up via... No! Wrong grid, you idiot. There we go. Nope. Okay, the triangles aren't going to work. We're going to have to do this via squares. Nope, that's not going to help either. It's just going to collapse in on itself. Random bits of wood just go flying everywhere. God, I really do suck at these games, don't I? I've never been particularly good at them. Right, what can we do here? Add a little bit of extra from here. Nope, that's not going to help, because I didn't even put that one in the right spot. There we go, now it's connected there. Did that help? Not when that part of the bridge is collapsing like crazy. Can I do... I'm running into the same problem where I don't have enough weight supporting the bridge, but I don't know where to put the bloody weight to support the bridge in the first place, because I just don't have the budget to do it. These parts always shit me, I tell ya. Okay, put that one there, and put this here, and watch it fall over again. I think I'm close, but I might not be because I'm shit. Nope, that didn't help either. I swear, this thing is just looking more Frankensteinian as it goes on. Good God. I legitimately don't know what to do here. This is a really difficult stage. I don't know why this is unlocked from the very beginning, because it's just... It seems to require a lot more skill than you probably have at this point. Just in relation to the, you know, actually building the bridges and all that. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna undo that last one. That didn't fit properly at all. And there go all the planks. 'Tis a silly game. Jesus, what the hell do I actually do here? Like, as you can see, I can't actually build them while they're... Yeah, see? It just falls through. So, unless I literally start that entire thing out with a square, there's nothing doing. And of course, it's got a maximum distance. Now, see, that's doing alright. Now I just gotta take care of, this bloody middle part of the bridge here. And I don't have anything to deal with except wood. Hang on, delete them. Connect these two up. Maybe go to a bigger grid. No, bigger grid isn't a good idea. Gotta try and keep these as even as possible. You're probably going to need to use nothing but the more detailed grid after a bit of building. Okay, put that there, put that there, put that there. And watch it fall apart. Yep, just too much weight. Wish I could move these little bits here, instead of having to delete them all in order to try again. Slightly different idea. Someone's probably played this exact version of Bridge Constructor before, and they're probably just yelling at me through the camera going, "Put it there, you bloody idiot." Still too much weight? Yep. Of course it is. Nope, still too much weight. Alright, I've done pretty much as well as I'm going to do on a game of bloody Bridge Constructor, and that was just a quick look at it. It works perfectly fine. I've had a crash once, but that might have been my fault, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. If you don't know what you're getting into when you look at the name of this game, then I don't know how to help you with your problems, but oh well, it's an alright game, and I mean, it's bridge constructing. If you like that, you'll like this, so that's pretty much all I got. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.